Oh, I'm in Lisbon, Portugal. Been here for a few days, acclimated, oriented, ready to get back to my podcasts. Glad to be alive. Glad to be alert and aware, awake, being aware of our physicality, of the textures on our skins. What is it we are feeling? Do we have socks on our feet we feel, or do we have a sense of the surface of the floor or the ground? Do we now begin to feel where our hands are joined together, possibly on the arms of a chair, wherever they may lie, wherever they may be? Do we begin to sense the warmth of our physicality, of our bodies, of the muscular activity of our lungs and our heart, coordinating and raising the heat in our body to 98.6, being here, a witness to what is? Do we begin to feel a sense of motion, a sense of the cadence of our hearts squeezing oxygenated blood from our lungs through our vascular system? Do we follow this pulse with a greater awareness of our breathing, of our chest rising, of it subsiding, of these activities, these processes crucial to our maintaining life, taking nothing for granted, raising in our awareness a sense of appreciation, a sense of humility, even a sense of thankfulness. We are alive in the first place. For there is no law saying that mankind need exist. There is no fee that has been paid to find a species categorized as Homo sapiens. It is evolution. And it is random. And it is a process begun, science says, approximately 14 billion of our years ago. Being aware of these things, as we say, we are here now, bundles of miracles, humbled before the immensity of our creation, all of creation. Thankful to have enough gumption or intellectual capacity or mindfulness to be able to utter these words or to think them through, to follow and to agree or not to agree, but to be able to have an opinion, to be able to form thoughts, to be able to take them somewhere and sustain thought processes. There are always reasons to be thankful for what we have. Likewise, there are always reasons to be hopeful and to yearn and to work towards self-improvement. We as individuals, families, communities, co-inhabitants of our planet, cousins, nations, work together. Communication, collaboration, compromise to move further forward and higher as a responsible species for our planet, as stewards, feeling relaxed, calm, capable, tingling with one's own self-awareness, with the ability to just be able to feel all of these different things going on in a state of equanimity, tranquility, in a state of grace, warmth, embellishing upon the matrix of our living fabric, positive momentum, positive suggestions, affirmations, virtues, simple things, things that we can understand and test on our own, feelings we can share and validate through our own experience. This is the premise we make in self-realization. It's not group realization, although a number of individuals who are doing this are indeed a group. And the hope is this group expands. But as individuals, we can understand what we're doing is the truth. We're not asking anyone to believe anything one can't validate in their own mind. We can look up into the skies. We can see stars far afield. We can gain some sense of distance by just being wherever we are and multiplying it out. We can get some idea of the diversity of creation by, again, looking around and understanding, and not just what we consider alive, but of everything, minerals, of crystals, of lakes and rivers, oceans, mountains, ravines. There is an incredible diversity then, even beyond these basic structural characteristics we're discussing. And when we get to life itself, to plants, to animals, there is so much. We can take these moments and postulate the possibilities of life in every corner of our universe, not just upon one special planet, following one special line of thinking, but of the diversity of creation, of its increasing complexity, of all kinds, in all directions. Common sense is what we're talking about. Being open-minded, being alert, awake, aware, hopeful, being affirmative for one's own self-improvement, coordinating in one's own being ways to further one's self-growth. Read, ponder, question. There are many self-help books of many different kinds. If one is having a particular difficulty, it could be a small one or a large one or in between. And it can be one filled where we feel we have many small steps or one larger step to overcome, to succeed. Whatever it is we are looking for to be helpful, everything abounds. There is so much. It is the age of the Aquarian revolution, we might call it, the age of wisdom, the 5, 10, or 20,000 years of more or less recorded history. Even the pyramids speak to us, or Stonehenge. All of these different attributes of mankind's creations, each has a voice of its own, something to add. And we are the children of this Aquarian age. And our goal is to rise and become more, to become adults, to take our sense of responsibility of being stewards of our world and doing a better and better job, not only for the sake of our world, but of ourselves as individuals, as family members, as parts of communities, of parts of social traditions and cultures, of nations. This is what we can be here for, but we need to be aware. Where do we start this with mindful meditation? Where is the foundation upon which we can do this? The foundation of one's own self, of one's own physicality. Being here now, bundles of miracles, humbled before the majesty of, before the immensity of creation. Thankful to have ears to hear or eyes to read. Bless oneself and this day and all around us in each and every way. Being open-minded, hesitating to be judgmental before one understands all the circumstances we may find. Maybe what we see is only half of the story, only from a narrow perspective, and we need to see more. We need understand to greater depth. This is what perception is. This is what perspective is, what we want to share. Thinking about these things. Have a glorious day. Namaste.